Hey everyone, this is Connor from Soulfire. We wanted to take some time to celebrate our seniors at Holy Spirit Lutheran Church, so we're going to do some Zoom interviews and let them share a little bit about their favorite memories at church, what advice they have for the new youth director, and where they're going next. This interview is Quincy Sasson. Enjoy. Quincy, thank you for taking some time to hang out with us and do an interview. So let's start out. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name's Quincy, and I'm interested. One of the main things I like to do in my free time is I like to hang out with my friends and um like converse with them and kind of normal teenager thing. And also I play rugby with the team up in Jupiter, so I like to do that with in my free time and hang out with those guys. And also I'm kind of into fashion, so I like to look around Reddit and Instagram and look around at menswear and streetwear.
Yeah.
So that kind of aspects.
Yeah, I had a few
And
students in my last youth group that were really into streetwear.
yeah,
It's cool. It's an interesting take. They had
yeah,
to
yeah.
kind of explain to me what the whole aesthetic was, but it's cool. I'm down with
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. And you're the
And
oldest
then
of how many siblings?
four. Or no,
Four.
I'm the oldest of four. So I have three siblings.
Cool. All right. So first one graduating high school, first one stepping out of the house. You looking forward to it?
Yeah. Yeah, looking forward to it. A little bit more freedom. But
Yeah. It's a big step. Have you
see how that
decided
goes.
where you are going to college yet?
Yes, I'm going to Northeastern University up in Boston.
Wow. So that's a trek.
And yeah, and I'm gonna be studying bioengineering. And then
Bioengineering?
correct. And then they have a like a co-op program, so I get to work 6 months at a time throughout part of um, my time there. So I'm doing a 5-year program that includes 3 co-ops. So I'm gonna get in total about a year and a half of work experience before I graduate.
Wow. That's cool. That's so necessary too. Like when you're looking for jobs
Yeah.
coming out of college, having that experience will definitely help. So
Hmm.
why bioengineering?
I originally got into it because my dad works in TV production, so he like talks to a bunch of like engineers and like um, owners of businesses and everything every day. So he told me this one story, I think like 5 years ago or something, like seventh grade, about this company that was designing like bandages that kind of work like sutures, but they don't have any like invasive procedures. It's just like a bandage that you would put on a wound, and then the way that the bandage would seal itself, it would pull the skin together through like a mechanism, and it would um, eliminate the need for sutures or stitches or anything. And I thought that was really interesting. And the way that he explained it to me was that their innovation not only like made them money, but it also would um, save the medical industry a lot of time, which would in turn like save lives. And I thought that was really interesting and like a really good cause to like go forward and like pursue.
Cool. Yeah, I think I've seen something like that online before, where like you put the
Hmm.
band-aid on and then there's these tabs you pull to kind of
Yeah,
it pulls the skin together and then those tabs
yeah.
stick down to hold it all together. That's pretty cool. I've seen that before.
Hmm.
So and all the way in Boston, what is Northeastern known for its bioengineering, or is there something else that wanted you to go to Boston?
I was mainly interested in. I didn't really care where I was going to be placed. I really wanted kind of that work experience program, like I stated before.
Hmm.
It's a really big hub for medical industry and everything. So, knowing that they had the co-op program and the specific major, that kind of like propelled my interest. And then I was also looking at another school in Philadelphia that my mom actually went to,
Hmm.
and she was a little disappointed that I didn't choose there. But I chose Boston because it was like that hub um, of medical industry, and also because all the other colleges that are up there that I may be able to like collaborate with, or like even just having that larger college experience. Because
Yeah.
Northeastern is kind of a smaller private school, opposed to like a UF or like
Yeah.
FSU or something like that.
That's pretty awesome. You know, it gets cold up in Boston though, like real cold.
Yeah, Yeah.
You have to get a whole
Nice
new
on the water.
streetwear
Yeah.
jacket.
Yeah, it's nice on the water so it won't get too cold, but still
That's
gets a little
good.
cold.
That's good. So how long has your family been a part of Holy Spirit Lutheran Church in Soulfire?
Um, I think we're coming up on 10 years. We joined when I was in third or fourth, or at the end of third grade. So just about 9 years now, I'd say.
Awesome. Awesome. So what has been some of your favorite memories being a part of the church?
Um, Definitely the longer experiences of Soulfire and or like Soulfire experience or specifically church experience.
Either or,
Or
just your favorite memories from being a part of the church.
okay, so with the specifically the church, I'd say the first communion was like definitely like really not like I hate to be like ironic, but it was like really cool and like it moved me and like kind of propelled my interest in like church and like becoming one with God and like following Jesus and everything. And then more recently, um, I read a book. It was Church of Cowards by one of the podcasters I listened to, and he was talking in his book about how first communion and baptism and everything was really important in religion, and religion needs to kind of get more back to those roots instead of like being like a mega church like Christ Fellowship or like just specifically reaching out for monetary gain and like notoriety. So that like really sparked that memory of like first communion and then even to the what's it called the confirmation and everything. So I'd say those two experiences, the confirmation and like giving the speech to the whole congregation, and even to a smaller degree the first communion, were really memorable parts of Holy Spirit. And then with Soulfire, I'd say there's a time in seventh grade or eighth grade, I think, I was helping with set up the Easter sunrise service, which you didn't get to experience this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, but it was like we helped that Saturday morning to get everything down there and make sure everything was like we got all the cords down and everything, and like most of the speakers down there. And then the next morning, we woke up like really early. They woke up around like 2 o'clock, I think, and got down there to the pier by 3, I think, to like help. At the time, I don't think it was Eric, it was Jason that was helping like do all that, and it was Eric and I think Matt were helping set up most of the equipment. So me and my dad and my brother were there, like just setting up chairs and like just knowing that it was like we were gonna like do that for like so many years, and that Holy Spirit had that much of a reach into the community was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's a big service. I
yeah,
haven't
it is a
been
big
to
service.
Holy Spirit sunrise service, but the church that I used to work at down here does a
Mm-hmm.
sunrise service as well, just
Yeah.
south of the pier. So we can see
Mm-hmm.
your service from our service when we're down there on
Yeah.
the beach. So I know it's a big thing. It's a real crowd draw. A lot of people I know who don't go to Holy Spirit have told me that they attend that service. So it's a real big thing. So so what is an important life lesson that you would want to share with younger students? Like if you were going to come teach a lesson at Soulfire, what do you think your lesson would be about?
I'd say it'd be something along the lines of just because you don't know something doesn't mean that necessarily, like just because you don't understand something or don't necessarily have the grasp of the concept on something doesn't mean it's non-existent or that it's not there or that it's just made up or just some way to waste your time. Especially since I wouldn't say I'd had my like Jesus realization like yesterday, but like kind of recently, like I didn't see church as like just a way to waste time, but it was like kind of like a duty or like a chore. So like I would say just because you don't see it now doesn't mean it doesn't have further impacts along the line.
Mm-hmm.
So like um like not only like put your faith in like God and Jesus, but also like believe in them with your whole heart, and like know that they're there, and like maybe not put like not maybe not like know that they're gonna do everything for you, that you still have to do some things on your own,
Mm-hmm.
but like always know in the back of your head like that they're there for you and they love you.
Awesome. No, I think it's a great lesson to learn. You know, there's a lot of things out there that we just don't understand, and sometimes we have
Mm-hmm.
to be comfortable saying, "I don't know."
Yeah.
You know, let's learn more together. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you have three younger siblings. What is something that
Yeah.
you would say to your younger siblings to encourage them to continue to be a part of Soulfire and to continue to serve with the church?
Um, I would say I would, I would pull one of my mom's lines out and say it builds character, and it's something for you to do, kind of something
Yeah.
along those lines. It would be um, not only that you're going to have a relationship with God, and you're going to um, keep being loved by Jesus, but it also builds character in you and teaches you other life lessons.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, I'm sure your siblings have heard that before from your mom, but I think
Yeah.
it rings true. You know,
Mm-hmm.
at the worst, you're going to build some character throughout this
Yeah.
experience. So, this is my last question for you. So, I'm the new youth director coming in. I get to work with Sean for a little bit longer, and really
Mm-hmm.
hope to pull as much knowledge from her as I can about this group. But what advice do you have for me as you are departing senior?
Mm-hmm.
What advice do you have for me as the new youth director at Soulfire?
Um, I would definitely try and get some of the older kids involved, like most of the high schoolers involved, like in trying in every activity, even if it's just like a mainly middle school activities, like have one or two high schoolers there, because they really kind of look up to us, and like if they see that we're having fun and like participating in Bible time, like they'll do that too. And I don't know if it was intentional or not, but um, Miss Shafton had Kara like anytime it went silent, she would chime in. I don't know if that was just her character or if she had a little bit of setup, but it was definitely helpful in like sparking interest and like getting our brains thinking, and um, that kind of like just to have that kind of influence. And then also to um, you kind of have to control like maybe the more misbehaved kids. I'm sure Miss Chapman has told you about a couple boys in middle school that don't really pay attention or don't really have an interest. I would try and give them time, and like they'll get through that phase and see what's on the other side.
Yeah, for sure. I've heard a few stories from Sean, so I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one thing I like to share with parents, especially parents of middle schoolers, when they come to warn me about their kids, is middle
Mm-hmm.
school is a weird time. You know, all middle
Yeah.
schoolers are a little weird, like it or not, and they'll grow out of it for sure. So.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Hey, well, that's all the questions that I had for you. Quincy, do you have any
Okay.
questions for me or any last minute statements, any last things you want to say before we sign off?
Um, I don't think so. Maybe just some general things about the summer, like what we're doing and everything. Like, what are your plans for the summer at if like COVID gets
Mhm.
like lifted?
Well, we are doing our best to stay connected. We want to put as much content out as we can. And that's why we're
Mm-hmm.
doing the interviews. I think it'll get a little easier once school lets out. I
Yeah.
think online school has been a bigger burden on students and families than people thought it would be. And
Yeah.
so hopefully once school wraps up, this is the last week of public school, it'll give everyone a little bit more time, a little bit more chance to breathe. So
Mhm.
we want to keep putting content out, stuff for people to engage with when they have time, support the
Mhm.
families as a unit, and hopefully we can maybe get back together for some outside games before too long.
Hopefully.
So I think that would be fun. But
Mhm.
anyway, Quincy, thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. Thanks for sharing a little bit of your story. I definitely
Mhm.
benefit from hearing from all the seniors and really take this the advice that you all are sharing. So thank you for hanging out with us and enjoy the rest of
Of
your day.
course. You too. Thank you.